Hello, beautiful children of God. Hello, beautiful beings made in the image and likeness of God. Hello, beautiful beings whom the scriptures say God has placed eternity into your hearts. Thank you so much for dropping by this video. So there's a discussion forum I'm a part of. And someone recently reported that their pastor at the church they go to said that because this person believed in universalism, that they had a demon inside of them just for having that belief. And so here's my response. So first and foremost, anytime someone attacks the person as opposed to the person's view, the person who's doing that is already wrong. For example, this person said, hey, I believe in universalism, meaning universal salvation. And instead of responding to this person's belief, the pastor attacked the person. Oh, you believe that. Because you believe that, that means you have a demon. So that's not how dialogue and discussion goes on at all. If you disagree with someone's point of view, you talk about the view, not the person. The moment someone attacks someone for believing something, you just don't want to have anything to do with that person. They're a very sick person. So that's just the first thing is in engaging in that way, the pastor's already wrong. So the next thing to look at is it is an undisputable fact that if you had no knowledge of Christianity or Judaism, and you picked up the Bible and read it, and it was an accurate translation of the Bible, you would come to two conclusions. Conclusion number one, some people are going to either have their soul destroyed or be separated from God forever. And the second conclusion you would come to is everyone is going to be saved. Let me repeat this. If you look at Scripture as it is, an accurate translation of Scripture, there's basically two messages there. The first message is some people will be saved and some people will either be destroyed or permanently separated from God. And the second message is everyone will be saved. It's just a fact. Now, very few people read Scripture from that way. Normally what happens is someone adopts a belief and then reads the Scripture. The predominant belief out there is some people will be saved and some people will be either destroyed or tortured or separated from God forever. That's the predominant belief. So people take that belief in, they read the Scriptures, and they ignore everything that talks about the other message which is in the Scripture, that all will eventually be saved. That's fact number one. As it is, no interpretation, Scripture has two messages. Here's fact number two. Universal reconciliation was the predominant theological view in the first 300 to 500 years. The timing's a little unsure. Scholars are a little unsure. So we'll say the first 400 or so years, that was the predominant view amongst early Christians. Fact number three, it did not become a widespread view until the Catholic Church declared it a dogma, and the Catholic Church declared it a dogma based on an order from a Roman emperor. So in essence, a political ruler is the reason why damnation, eternal damnation, or separation or destruction, any of those three, became a predominant view. So here's the thing. Who are you going to believe? So like I said, if you just go to the book, you're going to have, there's two side-by-side messages. So are you going to believe the early Christians who have a much closer connection to Christ historically, and also what we're talking about is people who were taught by the apostles. Or are you going to believe some joker now we're in the 21st century who says, hey, because you have this belief, you're possessed by a demon? But even we can put that aside. The question is, what do you worship? I worship love. I believe God, that's my bottom line, that God is love. And it's through that's the only belief I take to Scripture, and I read what's there. And so from that, I come to the same conclusion that the early Christians came to, not all of them, but many, that for some people, before entering heaven, there's going to be a purification, and it's going to be painful. And early Christians called it purgatorial hell, a temporary hell. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to involve fire and burning, but that for some people, there's going to be the necessity of purification before heaven. And I may be one of them. I don't know. That's the kind of God I worship. I worship an all-powerful, all-loving God whose will is that all will be saved. And being all-powerful, his will can't be thwarted. Anyone who believes in damnation, God bless them, is worshiping an unjust God who's either one of two things. His will is that some people be tortured for eternity, or his will is that everyone be saved, but somehow his will can be thwarted, and hence he's not all powerful. So again, this is not to criticize those who believe in damnation, but I'm just pointing out the kind of God they worship. And to me, that seems like a demon, a being who would allow or want to torture people forever. And this is not to say, again, I'm not going to do what this pastor did and put people down who believe that. I am firmly convinced that everyone is doing the best they can. And those are a few facts, and that's the God I worship. Take care. Much love.